Going back to that, you saw that photo of all the women that were running for office.
Yes.
And you made a comment on social media about them all being white.
Yeah.
And you said, "Where?" Let me just quote you again. You said, "Where are all the black women or the Arabs? I'm a woman. I'm pro-woman. I'm all about girl power." There's the shirt.
Yeah.
They don't. A bunch of pink pussy hat wearing white feminists do not represent me nor my struggle. They don't have a clue about what needs I need.
They don't.
But they think that they have all the answers. Texas, you have a lot to learn if you think these are the best we have.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to say it. It is not fair that white women get a pass to now be woke. It is not fair. So
we're going to have to break this one down. Okay.
So my Future's Female shirt, this comes out of the 70s, okay, out of a lesbian movement of the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it really comes from. And as a straight woman, I guess some lesbians would be like, why is she wearing that? You know, Hillary said
Is that cultural appropriation?
I don't know. You know, Hillary said it at, when she came out of the woods, she said, the future is female. And the future really is female if females would get their butts in motion and do what you're really supposed to do. What I was saying is those candidates that mid-age, 40s, 50s, okay, now in 2016, 17, 18, you want to be woke, you want to be aware of social issues and societal ills. Well, as a black Arab, I've been knowing that stuff since I was born. I've had to fight and struggle, and I was raised well. I'm not poor, I'm well educated, I have opportunities, and I still have to fight harder than any white woman with half of my training or education because of the way society is. So now when they are now presented with, oh no, these things are going on, here, let us have the answers. It's like, I've been taking care of you since the plantation. You don't have the answers. Don't feel like now that you're aware, like I'm supposed to follow suit with you. Because I think Whoopi Goldberg said on The View that the word feminist is not really for black women. It was for white women in the 60s and 70s. And so what white women don't understand is that we black and Latina women have been doing this since the beginning of time, and now you're new to it, and now you want to put on this hat and march and be like, yes, well, where were you the last 200 years?
Let me butt in. What would you rather them do? If you don't want them as allies, which I don't know if you do, or
no, I want them as allies.
You don't want them on the vanguard of the spear.
I don't want them to
tip of the spear.
Yeah, I want them.
Sit back and let us lead. You be a part of it.
No, not lead. Join with us.
But isn't that what they're doing?
No.
They're trying to take over.
They're trying to take over.
Okay.
So like last year's Women's March, I was down in Austin. I went with a women's club where I was a treasurer. Went to Austin. There was it was Austin. Everybody throughout Texas, everybody in the United States, we were marching. It was great. It was phenomenal. It was wonderful. This year, we pull up to the Fort Worth March. We were going to go local. And
Metroplex Atheist was there.
Okay. Now we pull up and this is no lie. I look at Justin and I go, I don't want to go over there because all I saw was white women. And I said, where are the black, Latina, Indian, where are the women who are non-white? And a lot of people will think, oh, Kelly's being racist. I'm not racist. I'm white. What I'm saying is, if only men are leading the charge, women get left behind. If only one group of women are leading the charge, and it's only their point of view. Remember how we were talking about diversity?
Yeah.
It's only their
Here's the alternative.
Thinking.
You see in the sea of white.
Yeah.
Let's flip the script. What if you thought, hey, this is my opportunity to go over there and maybe impart a little knowledge, or maybe
I would love to.
Maybe I'll be a rock star, and maybe they'll put me up on their shoulders, and I'll get to drive this bus.
Okay, so what's today?
The 28th.
Saturday? Tuesday, I get a text message from a friend who is former educator, counselor, has had relationships with black men. She's a white female. She texts me, she doesn't like that post. And she feels that I'm being prejudiced towards people that don't understand. And why can't I teach them to understand? And my reaction was, bitch, please.
What else?
Like, you really need me to? I said, you know what privilege is?
It's not your responsibility to teach.
It's not my responsibility.
I hear that a lot, yeah.
You should have known better, because I've always had to know better.
Mm-hmm.
So if black and brown women are angry over this, and white women are not understanding. That's I'm speaking the truth.
Would you rather have pulled up and not see that sea of white?
Yeah, I mean, why can't we have a cultural mix?
If those white women stayed home, you pulled up and what would you see? You'd see an empty parking lot.
We black and brown women will show up
Where
if
are
we
they?
feel welcome.
Oh, you're saying that they were so outnumbered that repressed them from wanting to come.
We don't feel welcome to the party. We don't feel like the interests are there.
Let me segue in or just tie it in. Metroplex Atheist is overwhelmingly white and male. When anyone that is not cis, hetero, white, or male comes to our meetup, we just unconsciously go out of our way. Hey, we would love you to just stay here,
We're
please.
excited.
We're not for any nefarious reason.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't want to be seen as that.
Well, that's because people who are brown and black are going to more tend to believe in a faith.
But should we say, hey guys, should we go, hey, I know we're all cis het white males here with goatees and we're all 50 pounds overweight, they all look like me. They're all like pudgy, pasty white dudes, right? Okay, half of you, let's set times. All right, this Wednesday you can come, and this Wednesday the other half can come. That way there'll be less of us here, so we can increase or give the opportunity for people that have a little darker skin.
You know, that inclusive like feeling like.
What could we do?
To
increase it or
as
change
somebody
it?
who is half white, do I still feel when I walk into a school or a room or a business and everyone's white, I don't think twice. I just think, oh, I'm here. I'm Kelly. I'm here. And if I have to hear one more time somebody white who's 100% white say to me, oh my God, I was the only white person in the room. And I'm like, well, I've been the only brown person in the room my whole life. Who gives a shit about what color anybody is? Just let us all, if you have to keep pointing out the fact that you're a different color than me, or you were, I was the only white girl at that school, big deal, bitch.
Is that in and of itself racist?
Yes.
Saying that? It is?
Yeah, and when you're saying it to me,
But
I'm
if you said it, would it be racist?
Well,
if you said, I'm the only person that has a little bit of melanin in my skin cells.
People would be shocked if I started saying, oh, my white friend. You know, because people will be like, oh, my funny black friend Kelly. So if I said, hey, my white friend Jim, or my white mom, you know, people would be like, what are she saying? You know, so we don't feel included into the party, and that's why you don't see us. That's why you still see black people here, brown people here, white people there. It's still segregated in this country because we still just don't feel.
Is there a hierarchy?
Now, like the man somewhere pulling the strings?
See, first off, let me. No. The hierarchy as far as you keep saying we and the person of color, but. I know it's racist, but it's the only word I can think of right now, but passing. All right, so you right now, you've got your melanin content.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think very scientifically, I think the Bill Nye way, race doesn't biologically exist.
Yeah.
Race doesn't exist.
We're all the same.
We're not the same. We're 99.5% the same.
Yeah.
Depending on which chromosomes, X or Y or XX or, whatever, or skin melanin content, whatever. I mean, we're so the same that it's like very minute.
Exactly.
So I don't think of it, race. What the closest I can think to race is like a breed.
Mm-hmm,
that is really racist. Yeah. But the difference between a golden retriever and a husky.
Yeah.
Can a golden retriever and a husky procreate and have a baby?
Yeah.
Of course they can. They're both Canis lupus domesticanus or whatever. We're Homo sapiens sapien.
Right.
So maybe it's breed, but that sounds racist as hell,
my mom,
doesn't it?
When I was growing up, she used to say wrapper, like the wrapper that you came in, like your package.
Well, it's not just outward. It's inward because
it's inward.
Having a little bit of, we're all African too.
Yeah.
That's part of your ancestry came from Africa, a little more recent than mine.
Yeah.
But we all came from Africa. But being more recent from Africa, you're more prone maybe to sickle cell anemia? I mean, there are some things inwardly.
There are some.
I have a higher % chance of getting skin cancer.
Yes.
I mean, there's some things,
I'm never going to age because of my brown skin.
Black don't crack?
Yeah.
Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah, the black don't crack. The only thing that ages us, the black community is, poverty and sickness. Other than that, we can be 90 and you'll never know. And that's a blessing. It's like, hey, with all the racial inequality I take, I'm always going to look good, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a bonus.
Hey, modesty, we don't need modesty here. It's all good. What my original point was, since you are closer to white, then do you think you don't experience the suffering to the same extent as others?
Excuse me, I'll be completely honest with you. Do I have a pass? Yes. Because I'm half white and because my name is Kelly Marie.
Question.
Do I have a pass? Of course I do. Do I have a pass more than my 100% black friends, male and female? Of course. Because, and I'm the daughter of a police officer. So when a cop approaches me, when they pull me over, do I feel the same fear? Probably not, because I can give him my license and it says Kelly Marie. It says I wear the badge of my late father, and I can say to an officer, hey, I'm a cop's kid. I was raised by a cop. Cops are like, okay, she's one of us. Not knowing that I think they're, I protested them, but do I get a pass because my skin is a little lighter? Of course I do. That's just the way it is. I think that even in the Latin communities, do the lighter skin Latina and Latino men and women get a pass? Of course they do. Because that goes back to the plantation, to that brown paper bag test. The darker ones were in the field, the lighter ones were in the kitchen. If you were lighter, you were treated a little better. When your hair's a little straighter and you look a little more, until people know me, they either think I'm Mexican or Indian or something. Then when I say I'm black and Lebanese,
to be honest,
yeah,
I didn't even
don't know.
care. No, I wasn't even trying to find out.
Yeah, no, people.
But when you walked in, the first thing, it wasn't a racial thing. I just saw your eyes look like Cleopatra.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I thought. And Cleopatra equals, I guess, Arab. So maybe,
Egyptian.
I guess, subconscious Egyptian. I was thinking, which is Arab.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, subconsciously, I was thinking, and I didn't think she might have a little Arab in her.
Yeah.
But I think the back of my mind was thinking that.
Yeah, everybody, as soon as, because they're like black and Arab, and I'm like, like Moroccan, Egyptian. Oh, yeah. It's funny because one of my students years ago said I look like Cleopatra. He was in 6th grade, and I was like, I don't know if I am complimented or grossed out by that.
Just don't commit suicide with a snake. You'll be all right.
And I just taught Cleopatra, actually.
Man, we're not even going to get to my questions, but that's all right. Because you just mentioned something I have to touch on.
Okay.
Being in the cop community, but you said you protest cops. Are police officers, the rate of their racism higher, equal to, or less than the national average? And if it's higher, why?
It's equal. It's equal.
Okay, so the Black Lives Matter movement could well be not targeted to police officers, law enforcement officers. It could be targeted to the entire community.
To the United States.
It just so happens to be laser focused on law enforcement.
Yes.
Not because law enforcement is more racist than at national average.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
My father served 18, he was a United States Marine. Yeah. And he served in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
I
didn't know this.
Yeah.
You're a Marine, Brett?
Yeah.
Do you see my?
I saw.
You saw my shit?
Yeah, Semper Fi. My dad was a U.S. Marine, and
nice.
And because of and then he became a Detroit police officer, and he worked narcotics, and so he was an officer from the late '60s until '86, and we saw the after effects of Vietnam growing up, coming out of him. Now you guys call it PTSD. Back then it was called they went to Nam, and he is passed now. Had he been alive, I think he would be on the front lines of anti-police brutality, because as an officer, he and all the men I were raised with were so proud of being cops. Mm-hmm. They were so proud of community policing, of doing the good things in the community. He wasn't pulling his weapon and shooting, at people. It wasn't that kind of policing. They weren't trained that way. It was, go into the communities, help clear out the bad, keep the good. And so growing up, I had a love of officers because of my dad. He was my hero. And so were his partners and his friends.